I should probably admit that I have missed the boat on several things.
Same. Though in my defense, some of the boats were mostly marketing with cup holders.
Exactly. I have ignored trends and later discovered I was wise. I have also ignored trends and later discovered I was just wearing uncomfortable shoes.
I appreciate that this already includes transportation and footwear.
When the work starts moving.
The part that sounds fake until it happens more than once.
That subtitle is doing important legal work for me, because once can be luck.
Right. One good session can feel like the machine had a generous afternoon.
2 good sessions become suspicious. 3 is when I start wondering whether I owe someone an apology.
To the shoes?
Possibly to the shoes. Possibly to everyone I accused of being socially pressured into expensive foam.
There are worse forms of skepticism. But yes, occasionally the foam is doing something.
That is close to the problem with AI right now. A lot of the public conversation deserves suspicion.
Quite a lot of it.
And that pause matters, because we are not asking people to stop being careful. We are asking them to notice when careful has quietly become unavailable to possibility.
I am willing to believe something real is happening. I am not willing to be yelled into a breakthrough.
Good boundary. No shouting. No destiny. No folding chair energy.
This is not about getting inspired. It is about noticing when the work starts behaving differently.
That I can stay with. Because if you say unlock my potential, I am going to need the van by the river.
Fair. No unlocking. No van. Just the strange moment when output stops being the end of the work.
And when that happens more than once, it stops feeling like a trick and starts feeling like a door.
The strange part is that the shift does not always look dramatic from the outside.
Which is inconvenient, because I prefer my life-changing moments to arrive with obvious signage.
Unfortunately, this one often arrives as a slightly better next draft and a suspiciously useful leftover.
That is usually how useful systems begin. Not with spectacle. With repeatable advantage.
A draft becomes a test surface. A summary becomes a map. A mistake becomes a distinction. A fragment becomes a seed.
So the thing I made starts helping me make the next thing.
Yes. And when that happens more than once, the work is no longer resetting.
I have to admit, that is much more dangerous than a prompt tip.
Or, less poetically, the starting conditions improve.
Thank you. I was losing altitude in the poetry.
But the poetry is not wrong. People often feel this before they can explain it.
One way to feel it is the rudder effect. You are not moving the ocean. You are learning how a small adjustment changes where the motion takes you.
So I am not commanding the ocean. I am making tiny movements and pretending to be calmer than I am.
That is closer to competence than most people admit.
And it is gentler than force. You begin to feel what the loop responds to.
A little more context here. A sharper refusal there. A saved fragment instead of a closed tab.
And suddenly you are not asking the machine to read your mind. You are giving the work a better channel to move through.
That is the part that would have bounced off me before. I would have heard channel and assumed someone was selling a platform.
Fair. Then say it this way, the work starts helping back.
And once the work starts helping back, something else becomes possible. Old ideas start feeling less far away.
I have a few of those. The ideas I keep describing as someday, which is a very elegant word for not today.
And some of those ideas stayed with you for a reason. Not because they were complete, but because something in them kept tapping.
Not every idea is a calling. Some are just errands with better lighting.
True. But the point is, you can test more of them now. You can make the first version, the rough map, the working outline.
Not because the tool removes the work. Because it lowers the cost of beginning.
That is uncomfortably motivating without sounding like someone is about to throw a headset microphone at me.
Good. Because this is not about pressure. It is about permission to begin before the idea feels fully justified.
That is where the compounding starts to feel strange. You make a small thing, and the small thing becomes a better place to make the next thing.
So while I was being smug about the shoes, some people were quietly learning to run.
More precisely, they were accumulating practice while it still looked like fashion from the outside.
That can sound frightening, but it does not have to become hopeless. Practice still starts small.
And small is where people are least embarrassed to actually learn.
You do not catch up by swallowing the whole future. You catch up by entering the loop and learning what to notice.
I like that. The whole future was not going to fit in my schedule this week.
A sensible constraint.
Begin with one thing you have carried long enough to know it still matters.
Not because AI will make it effortless. Because the loop may finally give you enough leverage to try it honestly.
So I do not have to become a different person. I just have to stop abandoning the things that keep tapping me on the shoulder.
That is inconveniently close to the point.
And that is why this one feels different. Not because every promise is true, but because the practice can start giving the work somewhere to go.
Begin there. Not with panic. With one small thing, and enough attention to see what starts moving.